everyone, Angela here and welcome to Crafting with Angela. Today we are going to be making a masterboard and then turning it into some tags. This is to go with the basic folio that I made last week. So what I have first of all is a piece of 12 by 12 card. This is the back of a pack of card pack and I've just taken it off. This side is plain but it's writable, so everything's going to be happening on this side, which is the back of it, so you can see the barcode and everything on it. So I'm just going to bring in my glue mat and a glue stick, and then I am going to have a range of different papers and things that I'm going to use today. So before we get started, I'm just going to take you through some of what we're going to have. So I have some napkins here that I might use, some various book pages. So this was from a book about seashore life. This was just a novel. This was from a thesaurus. I have a map page of Paris. I also have some scraps of map pages from a larger encyclopedia. Some scraps from that page as well. I have some coffee dyed sheets from a newspaper, Private Eye for anyone in the UK, and I have some music sheets. So this was actually a music book, you can see some of the sheets here, and I also at the beginning of it had it in different languages, so as in German, French and English. I just like how that looks. As well as that, I have a stamp set here. I'll just give you a better view of that. I have a stamp set here that I am going to be using to make some marks on it. So there's some stains, butterfly flowers, as well as some random numbers and stamps there. I have this sheet of papers, which is a range of old newspaper sheets in different colours and with different vintage ads in it. I may use some of them. I also have some washi tapes here that I'm thinking of using. They might look nice and they may not. We can try it and see. And I have also, as well as all of that, I have my inks. So I have 4 inks that I may use. I'm tying the washi colour and everything in. So these are all Memento Dewdrops. I have Bamboo Leaves, Angel Pink, London Fog and Peanut Brittle, and I'm just thinking if I use them they'll tie all those colours together, hopefully. So we're going to get started. The other thing that I have is I have a tear ruler. Here's this just a tear ruler that I have. It's about 6 or 7 inches of 2 different tear patterns, and I just like that to give it a rougher edge. Okay, so let's start. I am going to go in and start with the book pages because I think these are quite nice. We don't want them to take up the whole page, just bits and pieces. So I'm just going to try and see. Well, there's a piece with some nice English writing on it. There's a piece with some French. And obviously the way there's some with some German. So the way that is worded means we can choose where we put it. So I'm going to come in with these pieces first of all. I'm going to put this one down, I think in this bottom corner. I am going to turn this one. And I'll keep all the scraps because that we could find them useful on another page. Not maybe that bottom corner. And again, coming in here to tear off the bits and kind of turn it down to where the text is, because we don't really want a lot of white space. I don't want too much white space here, so I'm just turning it down. I might open that top corner, that straight edge. I might tear some of this down as well. Too much white space there. Any of these small pieces here, white space pages, I keep them in my box at the side here that I throw them into, and it just allows me to have them if I need them for any other kind of ephemera. They're good in clusters, they're good for stamping words or numbers on. They're just really handy pieces. Some look really small, but that can still be really good. I don't know how you see that. It's a straight edge up there, so maybe put that up on that top corner instead. And then I'm just going to try and find something else that I can throw in here for this bottom corner, and that'll just get all of the corners completed. I have this piece here, it's just a nice straight edge here. At this stage I'm not worried about whether the pages overlap with the edges. I can always come in with scissors at the end and cut them down. So just with the glue mat, I'm just going to put in a fairly decent layer of glue down. Remember, by the time this is completed there will be stuff stuck on top of it and everything, so I'm not worried really about it peeling up. I also want my bone folder. You don't have to have a bone folder, you can use an old credit card or anything like that. Just something to come in and give it a bit of pressure. You can even use a ruler, or if you have any kind of scraper, that would work as well. I have kept this piece on, the white piece on here, because I happen to think the way that coffee dye stain has gone down there looks really good. Gives it a piece of interest more than just the plain white. That's why those have been kept on there. But when it was plain, I just took it off. I don't like too much around it. Okay, into this top corner. I like it in the corners sorted to begin with, because I think it gives you a good starting point for everything. That's obviously picked up some old glue off my glue mat. I have to go in and clean that up. Apologies for that, I just had to go away and clean my glue mat when I was getting bits of old glue stuck to the top of that page. It's just one way, so I just took a damp cloth and just wiped it down to try and get rid of the worst of the glue there. So again, just coming in, gluing this up into this top corner. I'm going to leave the rest of the book, the music pages, till later on. Don't want to get too much of one thing in it first time, so just moving them to the side. And I think now I am going to come in with some random pieces of newspaper, just to give some different text. I'm just putting some of these pieces down. Leave that smaller piece, I think. Let that go in. If I was to cut off that edge, I think that could fit in there quite nicely. That'll fit in. Oh, apologies, I'm not sure if you can see that on the screen. That's going to fit in along that bottom. Okay, so we'll just go in and glue these bits in place. there, 388. I'm just trying to make sure I can keep that on the page. You just want to make sure they overlap a bit. You don't have to overlap as much as you want, just don't leave any gaps between them, because that kind of defeats the purpose of trying to fill the space up. And that's all we're trying to do, is add different pieces of paper and scrap onto this before we cut it down. It just allows you, means you're going to have a much varied board by the time you have everything sorted. Okay, so now, again, moving that page paper to the side just so we're not repeating things too much. I wouldn't mind if a couple of pieces of map here, which I think look really cool. The colours also go really well with this as well. So I'm thinking that would be quite nice. In there, I have a smaller piece here. Just stick over there. And then I have a really big piece at the minute of a larger piece of Muppet China. I don't think I want all of it, but I think it might be nice to have something maybe in here adding a bit of colour. I'm just trying to see which part I want to cut down. So I'm going to maybe this bottom corner with Taiwan in it. Take the edges of these as well. Maybe put this one off center there somewhere. I think that looks quite good. Move it and lines up that piece. Okay, let's do these now. Just in case the gluing's ever off screen, it's okay, you don't know how to glue. Literally just putting glue stick onto the back of it and then going in. Pressing it down. I like having the glue mat, just keeps my desk that bit tidier. One thing I will say is I've had bad technology problems now, so I'm trying a new holder for my phone, but for some reason or other it doesn't seem to be doing quite what I wanted to do, so it doesn't seem to keep moving. So apologies if you see the top of my desk in screen. You can see my glue gun's up there, and that's what, if you can see that purple pink thing at the top, that's what that is. That's my glue gun holder, but hopefully you can't see it. Doesn't matter if you can, it's just means you're missing other parts of the page. And I'm going to put this last piece of map down in this top corner. I'm also changing how I record. Normally I do my voiceover after I've recorded my videos, and this time I'm deciding to do my voiceovers while I record. I'm not sure exactly how well that's going to turn out. I might regret it. I know when I hear myself on video afterwards, I always hate when you start hearing things like and ahs throughout it. So I may not like that as much. I might change my mind, but it'll work at the minute. I'm just taking a piece here. I have a piece on the AJ. It's more the colour of the background and whatnot. I just think that's some pages from the source, and I am going to trim them down, and again these will definitely be strips that I will be keeping for future. I'm just going to trim them down on the edges. Where I'm going to put these yet, but I may just try this one in half like this. That goes quite nicely. This can be quite boring. I will remember to put some music on in the background of this before I put it up on YouTube, because otherwise it's just going to get boring not having anything to listen to while I stick random pieces of page paper on. Ooh, road map. This is really cool. Some of it down here would be nice. Some of it there, I think. You don't want to be thinking too much about this. You don't want to be trying to find the perfect piece, because I tell you now, the perfect piece does not exist. But sometimes it's just nice to put the different colours and different pieces in. And what I'm trying to make here is a very neutral background. It's going to be very booky, and then whatever I make my journal into, it allows me the freedom to add whatever focal point I want to turn it into something nice, something different. Not sure about that 24, but maybe we'll keep it in there just as a, why not? And remember, when you go to tear things, make sure you're putting the right pressure in the right place, because otherwise it doesn't work very well. And when I put pieces on, I like to put 3 or 4 pieces of something on. I know they say that, odds are much better to grab your eye and make attention, but sometimes having 4 pieces just nice. It just makes something look that bit different. And remember, when this is finished, it's not going to look the way it looks now. We're going to have it chopped up into pieces. I'm hopefully not going to pay too much attention to where exactly it's going to be chopped up. The only reason I'm saying that is I've just remembered that one of the napkins I was thinking about was a little bunny rabbits on them, which are so cute. And one thing I don't really want to do is behead a bunny onto a tab, because I'm not sure that would be the look I'd be looking for, but I think we'll leave the rest of that piece to some of this white paper, which I don't normally like whiteness. I like having that bit of a colour, old antique look, but at the same point in time I think it'd be quite nice just for something to be a bit different too. Just double down six. That's the thing to remember here, is that this is just creating a background. We'll be adding so many other things onto this by the time we're ready to put it in the journal that it won't look anything like this, and you probably won't see too much of a specific piece of paper or any specific thing by the time we're finished. Apologies if you can hear some weird tapping noises in the background. I think my daughter has just woken up from her nap. Hopefully she isn't going to start crying and she's happily playing, otherwise I'm going to have to pause this and come back to it. But I hope not. Let's see, maybe one other piece of this. I like that piece there that says Muddy Shores and Salt Marshes. It's a different title to have on something. This was. When you're doing this background, you don't necessarily want to be too small with your pieces of colour paper either. If they're too small, it's going to take ages to fill them up. If they're too big, it's going to end up looking really unusual. Okay, I have a piece of a novel here. Okay, we'll just turn that and get rid of that piece along the bottom. Maybe just there. Okay, so this start of the page is pretty much done. I'm going to need to put something else in here to take up a bit of space. Fiji. Let's just trim this down. Thinking I would like some more music paper in here. Camera mic is definitely moving more than I want it to, so apologies. I hope it's not making anybody seasick. Doesn't look to be moving overly quickly, but still, this rate you're going to start to see my wall rather than my desk. So that's the bottom line. They're all cross out. I'm just going to move that down so you can see the top again. Maybe another piece or two of music paper. Okay, I think that works. I'll leave that bottom piece on, although I may end up hopefully we'll be putting some other paper over the top so it doesn't look quite so blank on the page. In fact, it's got different languages on it. I think it just gives it a really nice appeal to the paper. Let's see. Oh, I had those newspaper, the old newspaper pages. See, here we go, with different correspondence, different pictures. That's actually really nice. I think there's a couple of pieces of each. Okay, we'll just go for those two pages. Again, they just look different, and we've got the different languages, and I do like having the different languages on here. Scraps of scrapbook paper or paper you'd used for card making or anything like that, they can all go in here as well. I'll do that and then go in ideas on how to stop your camera holder from falling down with the weight of the camera. Not that big a camera, it just seems to, oh, it just don't seem to have much luck at the minute. With my tech, I really need a new laptop. That is seriously not in the budget for this year. The joys of maternity leave. I don't know if that's not straight or I didn't cut it down straight. Right, sure. These ads, I'm going to try them in half here, possibly see. Maybe if I have a black line on it, oh, good grief. Remember when you're turning things, you have to really hold down the piece you want to turn, otherwise, especially when it's a really fine piece like this, otherwise it doesn't want to turn easily. Used in the Russian Imperial Nursery. If that doesn't make you want the I'm not sure what would. Map or street map? Street map. You start seeing orange or yellowy orange at the top of the screen. I apologize, that is my wall you're starting to see, and that means the camera is definitely losing the plot. I might have to pause it slightly and bring it back down again. Just seeing one strip here that's blank, a small piece here. Okay. Newspaper page. Let's see what colour square that down. Of course, I'm assuming I should have checked first if that was big enough. No, that is not big enough for that space. It will be big enough for that part, but just stick that one in there. Always double check something before you decide Okay, and then let's see if I have something that's, I think that paper's the right colour, just not sure. There we go. And I think that is the first layer of card completed. And I also think that I'm going to need to go and reset my camera so you can see more of my desk, less of my glue gun wall, and then we'll come back and look at maybe putting something else on top. So let me go and clear everything up and come back to you. Okay, apologies for that. Hopefully that is a bit better and you can see what this whole pad looks like. Apologies, hopefully you can see this better now. You still can see some on my wall and desk, but hopefully you're actually able to see the full page at the one time now. And apologies if it moves any further. I will try and sort it out for the next video. Okay, so got that first layer down. What I'm going to do now is just come in with a pair of scissors and trim down these edges that have come over the back. So just a pair of scissors. Just trim them down. You could use a trimmer if you want, but I don't think it's needed at this stage. Most of the pieces don't stick over too far. Sometimes you get a nice big one that just didn't look right if you were trying to put it close on the edge. Yes, these are my super long scissors. These are actually wallpaper scissors. What I like about them is they're great if you want to trim a sentiment down, trim something down really straight. They're awful at cutting straight with a pair of scissors, but I find with these ones, because you have so little room to actually move, once you line it up and you press it, the length of the scissor blade really helps. Let's just take one back. And here we go. Okay. Well, what I am going to do now is I have some of the napkins. Because it's napkin, it will come through quite, let the background come through. I'm going to leave the stamp until the end, just because we're not sure. I always think the mark making things come on in. Let's have a look and see what some of these tapes look like on this. They may not look nice at all, but I just feel, I'm not sure how good this one's going to be to add something on here. Let's just have a look. Is there anywhere I don't like? There, I'm not sure that I like the way that line is. With washi tape, I always like the glue chicks. Washi tape is not really designed to be a permanent tape. I'm just adding that touch of glue to it, just I think helps set that up. If I just line that up there. Just makes that line a bit less obvious. Anything else? Oh, there's a piece that actually hasn't got anything in it, so didn't realise that. So if I take the muddy shores down, we haven't got it all the way down. Let's see. couldn't tell you where I had got any of these washi tapes. Washi tape is one of those things that I see and I like and I buy, and then I haven't got a clue about. It's quite nice in there. Yeah, it's just about adding that extra pattern, that extra bit of something. Might change it this way. That takes off that in. Anywhere else this could go. You can tell this is old tape, that's how our washi tape goes when it gets old. It turns into really random pieces. And I think maybe up here. And I think I don't like this edge here, so I'll just take a piece of this and stick it to that edge. I have another tape there, but I think that tape might just be a tad too dark. Let's try and pull a bit out and see what we think. Oh, I think that's a bit too dark for this board, so we'll just stick with those two tapes, which I think looks really good. Okay, so that's the washi tape on. I think what I'm going to do now is come in with my napkins. So I have two napkins here. Cupcakes, where I have the rabbits. I have put rabbits on this before and they look really good, but then you have to be really careful with how you cut it down so you don't accidentally behead a rabbit. So I don't think that's what I am going to do now. Instead, I am going to, first things first, make sure you take off the backing paper. Get it just lightly moisten. Make sure there's another piece in there. Normally, moistening it and moving it like that is enough to make it pull apart. Now, since I'm ripping it, I think there definitely is another layer in there. Okay, the other way you can do it is just take a piece of tape. I'm going to use the piece that's already. That piece is already dust. So there we go. There is another piece on that. So you just need to be able to get at it. It's obviously really well come down here. Personally, normally when it tears like that, means you can't really do anything with them. I like to use all the pieces of my napkins. That's why I keep the bits that I pull off and use them in different bits and pieces, because they're almost like tissue paper, kind of nice fine paper for stamping on, for ephemera, using in card fronts or something like that. But when it tears up into this many pieces, it's not always the best thing. I'm not going to worry about the rest of that, because that's it all around the pieces that I actually want to pay attention to. So the easiest way I find to tear these apart is to get, this is just a spray bottle of water. I'm just going to spray some water here, and then I'm going to come in. If you have a water brush, that works just as well too. It just depends on what you have. Rather than cutting them and getting a rough edge, you do this, and it will allow you to tear it out. So I'll just show you that, and you just gently pull between the wet, the pieces that are wet. What that does is that gives you an edge that is not rough, or that is rough rather than smooth. And normally what that means then is that it doesn't show up as obviously on when you've glued it down and in place. Okay, so just to show you again, draw around with the paintbrush with some water in it, gently tear it apart. You can direct it to a certain extent. You don't need to mind, don't let it too much. Okay, and then pull it apart. Let me see what other cupcakes that I like. I'm going to try just going to leave last two here. Keep the rest of this page for when I want to maybe add cupcakes to their masterboard or card base or anything along those lines. Once you have them, you can do an awful lot with it. Okay, put that piece aside, and then I'm just going to tear these two in half. And something I like to do is just come in with a couple of these pieces that are very far right. This one here, it's very far. What's that for? There we go. That is 4 cupcakes. Just use that scrap of napkin that wasn't going to be used for anything else. Use that too. I got the water. That was me spilling the spray bottle. So apologies for that bang. Okay. Right, let's have a look and see. Looking at places that need a touch of colour. These are right behind me. Again, we're adding a touch of colour thing. Right up there. Set that in place here, light. There. I think that's it. I've seen lots of people do different ways of sticking napkins on. All I like to do again, glue stick, come in, glue the area of the masterboard that you want to add it to. It doesn't matter if you go slightly over it. All it's going to do is dry on top of it, and then come in with your napkin, press it down. I know people that use cling film and things like that. I just think if you've got a good foam folder, you can just come in with this, and you can see the colour, the paper behind it, which I like. Come in and stick this on here. Okay, don't do it that way. You stick it down, come in with your fingers initially, and make sure you've stuck it down first of all. And then once it's stuck in, come in with your foam folder. You try to do it the other way, and what you end up with is carrying the napkin. And then unsure about adding cupcake crumbles. It's very thick background. Again, there's nothing wrong with cupcakes and books. Cupcakes, books, and a cup of tea. Oh, it's a perfect afternoon. Relax and enjoy yourself, isn't it? It's my favourite activity in crafting. Big cupcakes and books. Not sure I like how big that piece is there, but it's a bit late to do anything with it now. I think we could try and put some more cupcakes in it. We could try to put some more cupcakes in this, but I don't think that we need to. I think that's good. I think all we're left to do now is come in with the lid on the glue. And come in here and there's my inks, my stamp set, and my blocks. That should come in here. We'll start with the splots. I think those spots are quite cool. And what I like, I think, put this one on with the peanut brittle, which I'm hoping is going to look vaguely like tea or coffee. And I might just put some of them close to the cupcakes. Okay, given that idea that, you know, the cupcake is about having a cup of tea while you're reading. Okay, that's those ones. So you have another set here, which is, that was the first one I put on, and I'm going to come in with this one. I'm going to do it in the peanut brittle as well, and then this one here I might come in with the London fog. Okay, so I don't know where the stamp I got. I'd already put it on my block. Okay, so let's go like this, and we're just going to go and put it randomly around. I'm just looking to add interest to things here and there. Add a touch of colour. Okay, and then I want to come in with the last spot. Like I said, London fog. It's quite a mild grey colour. Makes it look almost oily or inky. Or just again, we're looking to add a touch of texture or fun or interest, something to the background. Okay, that's those split stumps. Next, when we look at this, we have a butterfly and we have a flower. I think I'm going to take the butterfly. Next, I think we're going to take the butterfly. I'm going to come in. I'm not sure if this pink is going. This is an angel pink. I'm not sure if it's going to be that visible, so I'll try it. But if it doesn't work, I might have to come in with a darker pink. Oh, it's very faint. The only problem I have is if I try to go any darker. This is Lulu lavender. I think it's quite pale as well. I'm worried that if I go any darker, it will be too dark. I don't like either of them. Okay, we'll try one darker color, rose, but I think ladybug, maybe ladybug. Ladybug red. Oh, ladybug's red. Okay. Sorry, all my inks are on the back wall. Go with rosebud. It's a darker pink. Might be too dark of a pink. Let's see. Well, it's not too in your face. It's okay. I don't mind that. Okay. Definitely looks bright. brighter on the white background, so let's maybe not put any of it on the white background. Okay. Put those things off to the side, and then I'm going to come in with, this is like a, I don't know if it's a corn or some kind of other flower. I'm going to come in with this green, which is bamboo leaves. And again, I'm not really trying to add any additional colours here. All I'm trying to do is this green ties in, I think, with the green of the maps and whatnot, so it's hopefully not too in your face. It doesn't look too, like I said, just trying to add a touch of interest to the backgrounds. Sure what way the cards are going to go, or what way I'm going to cut everything down here, so I'm not even sure if these are going to be at the edge of the cards, in the middle of them. That'll do. Okay, so again, keeping these 3 or 4 colours in mind, what we could do is there's a couple of other stamps that I like on here. Approved, confidential, registered. Oh, I think I'll use the approved button, do that in bamboo leaves and confidential notes, but I think just stick with those two. So if we go for the approved, again we'll go with bamboo leaves. This is the stamp that could go either direction, so that and you upside down tape as well. Okay. And then the only other thing I could do, I don't know if I make numbers yet. I do like some of these numbers. This is number 4352. For this, and we'll put it on a London fog. We'll stick it on edges. close to that number. The joys when you're trying not to think about things too much. I think that's it. Okay, so that's the board finished. I'm just going to come in and I have this piece of tape here to cut off. I think I folded a couple of the other pieces. I'll just fold that over too. There we go. Cutting it off. Okay, so here we go. This is the board. That looks really good. What I'm going to do now is come in and cut it down. So I have my crocodile here. Just going to open it up. Hopefully without knocking everything else on the desk flying. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it this way so I know it's the right direction. With this text, all the text is going in this direction. Okay, and then I want to cut it to give me tags. So the first thing I do, knowing that this is what I might do, is come in with pencil. I'm just going to write top there. So I remember I'm going to cut it in half along the length. So we come in here and remember that this is 12 inches. So we're going to come in and cut it 6 inches there. I'm not turning it over at this stage. And then I'm going to cut this top piece. I'm going to cut into 3-inch strips. 1, 2. Okay, and there's 4 strips that are 3 by 6 tags, and then this one, which is now 6 height by 12 long, I am going to come in and cut it lengthways in 3. Okay, and then in each of these ones I'm going to cut it into 4s. So it'll give us tags that are 3 by 4. And it will give us 6 of them. So that should give us 10 tags in total. Okay. And I have cut them all without seeing what they're like. The backs of those tags are quite, I would say, boring. I don't mind that. You could put something, background stuff on there, but I like it. It gives you space for journal. Okay, so let's come in. All we need to do now is our scissors. This is actually quite thick. Quite thick card, which I hadn't realised until I've stuck everything on it. Okay, cut that. So all I've done is cut that corner off, folded it over and used it to cut that corner off. That means they're the same. And then I will use this to cut off all the remaining ones. Sometimes, depending on the card, there may be a slight variation between the edges, so it might be slightly thicker and there might be one that's just slightly longer. What we do is move that. Okay. Now, at this stage, I am not going to finish these tags off because the whole point of making these was that they ended up a neutral tag that anything could go on them depending on what kind of journal I was making. So I am not going to okay, what I didn't realise when I made these tags is the way I have cut them, they are sitting this way. So they're not going to be really tags, they're going to be more journal spots. So we're not going to cut the tag shape off them. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to have a look at these. So, well, that's quite nice, isn't it? With the pink butterfly in the middle of it. the map of Paris and the, well, I didn't realise I was getting that tape on there twice, but anyway. That's nice. It does need, I think, a focal point on it. I like that tag at the bottom, that cupcake at the bottom. And then we have these. Nice. Again, part of a cupcake there. A cupcake right in the middle. And there's the top of the cupcake. Doesn't look too bad. Wouldn't be my ideal. So I've said these are journal cards. You could use them as tuck spots, so you can either glue them down on this edge and this edge with the corner, have it as a tuck spot. You can cut a circle, have a semicircle at the top and have it as a pocket. Very much just depends on what you want to do. But there we go. There is 6 journal spots, stroke pockets. What I would do if I was finishing this off, I would ink around the edge with a walnut stain or something like that. For the tags, I'd put the hole in the top. Add some, label some stickers, some focal point, maybe a flower or something with dimension on them. But you could wait and they could be whatever style you wanted for your journal. So that's the tags. I hope you enjoyed making this with me. I really wish my camera would have stayed still, so apologies. I do hope you haven't got seasick through this. I am going to try and find a plainer background to put behind these so you can see them in more detail. And I look forward to meeting you again next time.